Hello, welcome to today's immigration tidbit. Okay, when you say family-based voluntary departure, more info. I mean, voluntary departure is voluntary departure. That means, depending on when you take it, you are agreeing to voluntarily leave the United States, and you're doing that in lieu of getting a deportation order and having the deportation bar. Okay, whether you have a family or not doesn't really matter. Rather, if you have a family, it helps in many respects getting back. But the voluntary departure itself is not family-based. Okay, when you're getting voluntary departure, first of all, when ICE comes to people who are in their criminal cells before they're transferred to immigration, they most likely will lie about the situation. They'll go, oh, you're going to be in detention, immigration detention for years. You'll appeal for years, you'll never get out. But if you sign here, everything will be fine. And what they're doing is they're signing a voluntary deportation, not a voluntary departure. So they still have the deportation bar. They still have the deportation order. It's just they've done it without making immigration work for it. Okay? So voluntary departure normally would be in front of a judge, and there's pre-conclusion voluntary departure. You know, there's voluntary departures at the very beginning of the proceedings. It depends, and for all intents purposes, the earlier you take it, the more benefit there is, because then they don't have to work so hard to prosecute their case. So when the judge is requesting the privilege of voluntary departure for you, you have to prove a few things. You have to prove you have money to get back to your home country. You have to prove that you will go back to your home country, and that you will not return to the U.S. unless legal. Okay, unless you have some visa or status, some legal manner. So, some people think when they get the voluntary departure, everything's going to be okay. And it's not. I mean, it stops the deportation order. It stops the deportation bar, but that doesn't mean, for example, if you were subject to the 10-year bar for being out of status, which is completely different than the deportation bar, that disappears also. I mean, generally, if you're going to have to leave, you may as well do it under voluntary departure rather than deportation, but don't confuse that with the panacea of everything being okay once you go. Okay?